Chapter 2. Shattered Dreams. The main console room was dark. Given the recent changes to its decor, this was no mean feat. An almost universal dose of brilliant white had an amazing ability to capture and reflect even the smallest illumination. Yet somehow the doctor had managed to reduce the place to an inky gloom. He had killed all the internal illumination possible. There were still a few scattered indicator bulbs on the main console which could not be extinguished, and it was these which provided what little light remained. Feeble as it was, it could still be seen that the central column was totally still and only visible through reflections upon its faces. The whole room seemed to be rocking very gently, like a tugboat at anchor, or possibly even adrift. A crashing, jangling, raucous E minor chord blasted out into the night-shrouded, cavernous space. On the floor, one leg flat, the other bent, sat the 12th Doctor, his back against the main console. His right hand listlessly continued past the strings of his electric guitar to arc half-heartedly into the air just above his head. He let the hand fall now onto those strings again, with a left-hand muted crunch, before sliding the pick down the fretboard, while simultaneously shifting his left fingers up to around the 12th fret. Now positioned, he began to play a heavily distorted slow refrain. It was bluesy, but of the most tortured sort, and if anything most closely resembled Hendrix's Banner. As the screaming notes wove and twisted around the Doctor and spun their way into the far reaches of the room, their blackened ironic melody was revealed. It was the Ode to Joy. The song ended with an ascending staircase of chords, the final one wailing off to die in a corner somewhere. Eventually, all had faded back to silence. The silence was broken by a one-person round of applause. The Doctor sat bolt upright, staring around wildly for the source of the noise. Failing to locate it in his first frantic second of searching, he leapt straight to his feet, guitar still clutched in his hands, almost as if he were about to wield it as a weapon. Some distance away, across the other side of the main console and beyond it, almost to the wall, was the vague silhouette of a person. "How did you get here? Who are you?" the Doctor demanded loudly. A woman's voice floated out from the darkness. "Oh, you know who I am, Doctor," it said with a hint of gentle laughter, "and it would hardly be the first time I've broken into the TARDIS." "TARDIS, lights!" the Doctor barked. Suddenly the main console room was fully illuminated, leaving the Doctor wincing painfully as his eyes adjusted to the blinding light. The woman now revealed was also blinking, but with less obvious irritation than the Doctor. He was certain he had never seen that face before, and yet there was a familiarity to it, a connection, almost a bond.
Masters, mistresses, the Doctor requires materials in order to maintain the TARDIS and ensure continued functionality. He similarly requires carbon-based comestibles to sustain his own biological functions and existence. Master would never say this, but he requires aid beyond that supplied by this unit in order to acquire these. To aid the Doctor in his various tasks and creations, this can be most effectively achieved via Patreon or Substack subscriptions, or through donations directly to PayPal. Or if you desire physical goods in return for your contributions, written accounts of my travels with the Doctor are also available on Amazon. Links are in the description below. Thank you, masters, mistresses.